Mugsycalhoon back again with you guys with the Halo Movement. Today I'm joined by Michael Sudd, better known as Sudd1. How you doing, Michael?
Hey, man. Good to be here.
Appreciate that. So let's just jump right into this, man. So you're back off of a victory from Gamers for Giving. How was that whole experience down there?
Man, it was great. I've actually attended one of the Gamers Giving events before. I know Zach from the creators and founders of the company, and I loved being able to help out Halo and any community anytime I can. So it was a good experience. It was fun. Had to see all my buddies up in Michigan and had a great turnout. We had 32 teams, I believe, show up for Halo.
Okay. Now, I heard that there was some drama that went down in there, man, and I'm sure that's what everybody wants to know, right off the bat before we get into anything else. There's some crazy smack talk going on between you and some of the guys from Mickwin's team. I think Lethal was probably the one that was going in the hardest, man. What exactly happened down there with all that?
No, it was smack talk. It was just some friendly competition, when you get a bunch of, good players together, we like to have some fun and try to intimidate our opponents. It was also fun and games. We're all good friends outside of the game, so you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess, before the game to get in their heads. But we didn't let it affect us.
So it was more along the lines of in-game, typical get in their head smack talk, as opposed to some people were saying, like what happened with Warriors at the last AGL event, where it got a little too personal. So it was a little more friendly this time.
Yeah, it was, like I said, it's a charity tournament. We were all there for the, supporting Gamers for Giving and trying to reach their goal, $17,000 to get some more hospital cards and stuff like that. It wasn't very much entry fee. All proceeds went to the charity. Obviously, you still want to win. There's a good amount of money to win there. But it was actually really very, very nice. The refs were all pretty good about the trash talk. Didn't let it get too far. And that's what, it needs to happen. AGL, obviously, they had raw, uncut Elo. You can't let it get too personal. And obviously, there's a lot of money on the line.
I think with AGL, that whole raw uncut thing has to do with those guys being young. I think the older they get and the more experience they have in life, they're gonna see that they're gonna need to be able to gain more sponsors, and a lot of sponsors are gonna separate themselves from this whole real uncut stuff that they want to have. What's that?
I feel like AGL right now is they're doing a good thing, trying to hold some terms and stuff, and do what they're doing with their company, Bonafide Boarding, their clothing company. But I honestly feel like right now they're just trying to make money themselves instead of put it back in, to the company. I feel like that, yes, they are doing this stuff and they don't have to be doing it, but they're looking at more of a business decision instead of doing it for the community. You're not going to make any profit really in the first year or so at all in any business. If you are, you're going to be successful. They need to be a little bit more mature. Think about, obviously sponsors. You're not going to sponsor company who, is just going to let anything fly. And they break their own rules. I believe Brad allowed some teams to get some free buys that didn't even show up, where some of the teams that played in the pool play actually got eliminated. So I have no idea the full spectrum of what goes on there. But there needs to be some set rules and set.
Yeah, you definitely can't be a fanboy and a tournament owner at the same time. Favorites ain't cool. You need somebody biased. As far as them doing this for profit, I don't know about that. I don't know them. I've never been to their events. I am prejudging them, and I admit that freely. So, that's just what I see. I don't know them. I just know of them and what they do, and that's little what I seen, especially with the smack talking going on, especially from like a young man's point of view. That's what they want. They want it real and raw and uncut, and the sponsors are just gonna just. I don't know, man. I don't know too many of them. I mean, I'd be surprised, and maybe they could prove me wrong, but I think the sponsors are going to come in and want to look a little close. If they did have, go ahead.
As a community, we want to see leagues and other stuff succeed, and we want to have tournaments here, and we want stuff to grow, and that's why we have our opinions and inputs, and I guess hopefully we can continue to.
So, are you actively? Are you not? Are you purposely not going to AGL events right now?
It was more of a. I didn't feel like they were at their point of acceptance, in my opinion, yet. When you have a company and you look from the outside in, and you're a gamer, you want to think about attending these tournaments. You listen about what other people's opinions were of the tournaments, and if they were worth going to. That's why we haven't even had a tournament yet, Console Gaming League. We want to make sure when we have it, we do it correctly. We won't want to rush into things. But at the same time, you want to continually grow and get better each tournament. And I don't feel like they're growing as fast. There's a lot of unsaid promises that weren't kept. A lot of changed things that they've.
What promises weren't kept?
Like I'm not going to go too detail. There's a lot of sponsorship opportunities.
You got to get detailed though, because if you're going to make accusations, you got to be able to say exactly what it is. You can't just throw things around,
I know. I don't want to go too into detail about AGL, but they've had also the beginning of the company. They said from the beginning, we want to be a professional league. We want to do things different. We want to offer sponsors. We want to offer a team per each state or something like that, where you represent that state and you become a pro, top 8 spot, getting sponsorships, stuff like that. And then it's all come down to random teams can just make changes.
They're doing it wrong though. If you're going to have represent a state, you can't have all the states meet. They're throwing the state championship at a national event. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, every state has to have a state championship or a regional qualifier, and then you have your national.
They say things, and then they just push it aside, and then they're like, oh, did we say that? Yeah, we didn't really mean that. Yeah. There's just a lot of changed things. They do everything different than what they say they're going to do. It's not always.
Now, how did you get to this point of view right here? Because a lot of pros, like top pros, support these guys from Bonafide Boarding, and you guys don't. Like, I know Alumni was, a little taken back with your position, and he didn't necessarily agree with it. Why do you think other pros are supporting them but you guys aren't? Like, that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I don't know if anyone's heard or not, but when we started our company, Console Gaming League, we were searching out for sponsors ourselves, and we knew that Bonafide was a clothing company, and they sponsored a couple of players like Strong Side and Alumni, and they were starting to grow within the community as far as like clothing. And we contacted them about being our official clothing sponsor. We wanted to get an official controllers company involved in our league and different things like that. We were branching out, trying to get these things organized. And they said, yeah, they would be able to join the partnership. Brad, we were talking to him. He's one of the owners of Bonafide. And then it started coming to, hey, I have an idea for your guys' tournaments and structure and these, and I kind of want to help out. I'm like, yeah, you want to help out? But, yeah, we need as much help as we can get. And then it came down to, he started taking our ideas. They decided he wanted to be a little bit more in charge in our area. And he was like, have you guys how many people are in your company? Have you guys founded your company yet under, like, you know, different things? And then we're like, you're just trying to keep pushing us to, like, do things so much quicker. You know, you're just trying to rush into things.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, you know, I'm going to start my own company. I don't really like the Constant Gaming League name. And I'm going to offer you and your team 20% of the company. And, you know, the other percentages is going to go towards our future sponsors so we can pay those guys back or put some more money back into their hands. And then the rest of it's going to go for profit. And I'm just like, dude, we don't even need to be talking about profit right now. We need to be, you know, focusing on having tournaments and keeping the community alive. So when we get bigger and we grow and we succeed, we're gonna actually be able to sustain ourselves and keep having these tournaments so we can grow and we'll worry about profit later.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was just two different opinions, and he just decided he wanted to do his own thing. And they rushed in a couple Hillary's tournaments, which were fails. They were minor, small little venues with teams of 8 or 10 teams.
Maybe
like
glorified local tournaments.
Yeah, they just and they're doing them at local land centers, which they're not even paying for any of the boxes that they're using. They're having failures. You know, the stream's always going down. It's miscommunication. There's a whole bunch of guys that don't know what the fuck they're doing, trying to do this stuff, and it's really frustrating from a player standpoint because, hey, I want to be competing myself, but I'm not going to go spend and use my sponsor's money to go to a tournament that's not even fundally prepared or, you know, ready to succeed. Yeah, I want to help those guys out, but the way that we started out and I came to those guys and they fucked us, it's hard to support that. And the only reason I'm actually going to be attending this tournament here shortly is because it's in my own state, and it's only 40 minutes from my house, which it's not even in Nashville, and they keep calling it AGL Nashville, which is pretty funny because it's in Murfreesboro. So it's a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, it just kind of makes me mad as a competitor and a player that a lot of people don't know, that they don't really think about or read about, and it sucks. I want them to succeed, but I also want Halo to succeed, and it's not going to succeed if we don't come together and we don't start changing.
Exactly.
Ways, you know?
Exactly.
You can't be greedy. You can't be greedy. You can't do things for yourself, and you can't fuck people over, especially when we need to be sticking together.
Yeah, I mean, if things went down the way that you say they did, you know, because there's always 3 parts to every story. There's one side, the other side, then there's what actually happened. You know, but if what you say is true, it does sound really shisty, and you know, I would say you had some merit to your point of view right there. So let's just move on a little bit. Why don't you talk a little bit about your league? Like, you know, I know a lot of people aren't supporting it, man. I don't know. Like, for example, like, I had some guys I was trying to get to do it, and they downloaded your settings, and they just felt that it was too unbalanced with the random ordnance, especially with, you know, the binary rifle and the beam rifle, which might as well be a binary rifle. You know, the way you could shoot with that thing is just ridiculous, you know. And they just didn't want to do it because, and I was gonna pay for it and everything, it was free. I wasn't even pay for it. I was just like, it's free, and you can have a chance to win this much money, and you don't want to do it. And they still didn't want to do it, and so I was just like, the random ordinances was just the random ordinances was more of an issue more than the 4-shot.
And I can explain, you know, what we were thinking. You know, we definitely want the 4-shot to be our Basha dealer today. That's definitely the thing. We're working on our settings as far as the ordinances right now. The main thought of the ordinances is to take away some of those ordinances that you wouldn't even grab if you even had a chance. Like we got rid of some of the grenades and some of the lower, like needler, stuff like that you probably wouldn't grab over and over shield or sniper or some rockets, something like that. Which we wanted to keep the settings close to the game as possible, let you use a lot of variety of weapons. We didn't want to limit the game to just hard light shields and holograms. That's something that I felt like it just kind of makes you not even want to use your ordnance if you get one. Um, it's something that is still in talk about. You know, we want to get the feedback from the community, and that's why we have our forums, and we're open to your suggestions. We did get a lot of feedback from the 2v2 matches, and those were just 2v2 settings. We want to use some 4v4 settings with the 4-shot VR, 5-shot DMR, but other than that, we haven't officially announced anything. We do have a tournament coming up here shortly. We haven't announced yet, but actually we just posted a poll. We wanted to know if anyone wanted to do a free-for-all, 1v1 again, or a 2v2 again, or possibly a 4v4 tournament. So we're definitely, like I said, open to settings, but we want to keep the game as closest to the way it came out. Obviously, we're not going to have the instant respawn because it just plays a lot more, calm, and the game will be a little bit more fast-paced with the ordinances and weapons like that. So.
Okay. Now, let's just completely switch gears up, man. Would you see yourself as maybe like the little brothers of the Halo community?
I feel like as I get older, I feel like I'm like the younger brother that's looking up to my older brothers that are starting to move away from the house, and now I'm the guy that has to take care of the family of my younger little siblings. So I feel like I'm not going to be at the house for much longer, but as long as I'm in the house, I'm going to do the best I can.
Yeah, I could definitely see that, because, for a while there in Reach, a lot of people didn't take you guys serious. A lot of people were making fun of you, calling you guys all types of different names, rats being one of them or whatnot. And just, a lot of people it just seemed like, even Ninja being your friend, he was trolling you guys when he would stream on his, in that Australian accent. It just seemed like a lot of guys were picking on you, and it just seemed like, but maybe some of it might have been deserved because you guys would jump up and scream reality check and I mean what in hindsight, now that you have a few years on that, looking back, and I mean what's your whole outtake on the whole Reach era? And I could see what you're saying about maybe the little brother, growing up now, getting ready to fly the coop, and now you guys are helping hold down Halo,
I don't know how familiar you were with knowing us in Halo 3 or whenever we started competing.
Not at all, man. I just started hearing about you guys in Reach.
I've been getting shit since I joined the league from being twins and making videos, funny videos. They weren't really that serious, but a lot of people think it's serious. But that's how I got known. Obviously you can't change the fact that obviously I wasn't a top 8 player to start the league or something like that. But I've had to deal with hate and haters and stuff like that. And you're gonna get called names. Once you start getting success, and once I got my first top 32, obviously people said I never would. It's all good, but there's still room to improve. And I was continually placing in the top 24 Reach and losing to some pros, friends that I've known. And people are gonna talk down. They want you to stay there. And just keep, for all the players that are looking up to me and all the other top pros. You want to just give 100%. Treat every practice, every time you play. Look to improve. You want to take it serious, and if you are serious about it, you will improve and you'll grow and you'll earn friends, and it's something that I've overcome. Ninja. We've been friends for a while, since 2009. I've known him, and he makes the jokes as fun. Obviously it's for entertainment. We want to keep the streamers entertained, but everyone else doesn't know that. When it comes down to it, you know, I really don't care what other people think, and that's why I don't let stuff get to me. But obviously, it does get annoying hearing the rap stuff bullshit. It's died down ever since, you know, a little while now, ever since Halo 3 just died out. But you're still gonna get it. Obviously, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I've matured a lot since becoming, you know, really good friends with a lot of the pros, and they've taught me to be mature more. And teaming with Kobe and his dad took, you know, me in and helping me grow up and people like T-Squared.
Yeah, because the community literally did see you guys grow up right before our eyes. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I mean, were you guys fighting on stream? You and your brother?
We you know, we used to. I don't know.
Who won? Who won when you guys fought?
I win. But you know, we don't hurt each other. It's just, you know.
What do you guys just do? Like Charlie horses to the arms, or you don't? You know, is there any set rules? You know, like no punching to the face, or
we push it to the point of you know when to back down.
Oh, okay.
We don't hurt each other. It's just more of like.
Now, you did split from your brother at one point, like to go team with Aptitude. Like, what was that all about? I thought you guys were like inseparable.
That was around the end of 2011, where 2012 was getting ready to start his off season, and he really wasn't feeling Halo at the time. He kind of just really wanted to focus on work, and I wanted to game hard, and you know, I teamed with Aptitude in the past and Toxic, and they all wanted to team with me, and they didn't want to team with my brother. And I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. They had proceed. And we've all been good friends, and I really wanted to team with those guys, and I felt like I could be on the top team. And we did really well. Our team ended up not working out, but...
So, you know what's really funny is people would always talk trash about you guys, but you guys always ended up having really good teammates. And that's the funny thing, when it came down to it.
Actually, you know, if you look at my team history in the past, all my teammates that I've had were all randoms until I teamed with them. So it comes to show that, like, you know, I do know how to pick teammates. I like to pick people that are mature, at least people I can trust.
Well, from what I've seen, like, I seen you guys teamed with, like, By Hero and, who was the other guy? It wasn't Schaefer, it was, the last tournament before you teamed with SK and
Neeks.
Yeah, Neeks. Like, those guys aren't random.
Well, what I'm saying is, like I've been, that was like maybe 2 events ago, but I've been over 15 events. So if you look at my old teams in history, you know, you'll see that, like, that was probably one of the first teams that I've teamed with guys that, well, there's still people didn't even know who they were, which is pretty funny. But, you know, obviously those top 30, you know, people who know the top 32 players will probably know who those guys were. It just comes down to, like, what I'm saying is, you know, you got to learn how to pick your teammates and people who you enjoy outside of the game as much as inside the game.
So let me ask you a question. You know, let's just bring it back to Gamers for Giving for a minute. Beating somebody like Mick Wynn and Lethal and guys that have always, like, been above you and talking down to you and calling you trash and stuff like that. How did it feel to be on the other end of the spectrum? And then question number 2 on top of that as a follow-up, how do you feel that they take that victory away from you by saying, oh, we don't even play, we don't even care?
You know, obviously, I've been friends with those guys, and I've played those guys in tournaments before, and barely losing to those guys when I was, you know, coming up in the league, and they were at the top, and it is, you know, disappointing, but I can understand where, you know, they wanted to come out and show support for the tournament, and I've been playing more than they have support with, you know, anyone who goes to COD. You know, if you go to COD, it's not nothing against Halo. It's obviously it's competitive nature in yourself, and you want to prove yourself that you can do it and trust me, there's a lot of skilled players that play Halo that could easily transition to COD. But, you know, for those who stick around, definitely it's worth the wait. I believe we got a lot of stuff coming out here. Ranks, new maps coming out on the 25th.
And I agree with you. Those guys are all coming back home anyways. You know, they went on their $1 million grind, and then they found out that they were just chasing a lottery ticket. They might as well just try to win the lottery. They're all coming back home where they belong.
Halo's such a different game, and you know, with me personally, like I've been doing this for a long time, playing Halo now in general, but competitively, I think fourth year or something. So
right on, man.
It's something that I put a lot of time into it. I'm already almost 22 now, so like I said, I'm about to be moving out of the house fairly soon. I want to make sure all my little brothers have something they can, you know, stay for.
Well, I appreciate your time, man. It really was a good interview. It was a little longer than I anticipated. I thought it was going to be short. Do you have any shout outs to any friends or any sponsors, anybody?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor, Warhead. I've been representing these guys for, I think, a third year now. And they've done a lot for me, so can't do nothing but appreciate what they do for me. And just follow me on Twitter, @Sudd1, and my company, Console Gaming League. Check us out. We have tons of free tournaments, consolegamingleague.com. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor, Warhead. I've been representing these guys for, I think, a third year now. And they've done a lot for me, so can't do nothing but appreciate what they do for me. And just follow me on Twitter, @Sudd1, and my company, Console Gaming League. Check us out. We have tons of free tournaments, consolegamingleague.com, coming up here shortly. And I just want to say, if you guys just believe in yourself and you just pray and you do what you do, you want to take it serious, anything's possible, and don't give up, because you know, you can do what you put your mind to.